What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of KittyTheCockatoo plays Blacksad Under the Skin. If you like what you see here and you want to see more, then please feel free to subscribe to join the flock. So last time we really narrowed it down onto what we think is going on. We've definitely confirmed that John Dunn was murdered. We are suspicious about his daughter. I feel like we've got some suspicions about Mary, but not Mary. Is it Mary? Is the girlfriend Mary? Well, the girlfriend. Not that she killed him, but she's definitely not willing to let go of information. We're a bit suspicious about the gorilla because we found out that he has an O'Leary pin. And we were already suspicious about O'Leary. And then we've also got the walrus manager who's a bit of an issue right now. So we've got a lot of leads but not a lot of ends really at the moment. So yeah. Smirnoff did come through for us. He did give us quite a lot of information, and I feel bad for ever being a dick to him. We obviously can't go on the phone. I don't know whether to talk to the goat one last time. Like, should we go and talk to the goat and see if the goat's got anything to offer, and then we'll go upstairs and maybe talk to his daughter a bit more. Because I feel like that might be worthwhile now that we've got more information, and then after that we'll just see as the goat's still asleep. Okay, well, we're not talking to the goat then. Not talking to him. So we'll go talk to the daughter. We also know that the paint can was from Jordan punching it. So now we need to figure out why he was angry. And we know that Bobby Yale... I feel like it'd be too obvious for Bobby Yale to be the murderer. Like, because all the evidence is all pointing towards him. And I feel like that would be too obvious. So... I don't think he was involved in actual murder. Maybe they're trying to, like, set it up that he was.
Did you find anything interesting in those papers?
No. Investigation work takes time, as I'm sure you know.
You're such a bitch. Such a damn bitch. Well, talking to her did nothing. We'll go try the roof again. If not, we'll go outside and see if we can go somewhere new now. But I don't want to go somewhere new if I'm missing something. We also messed up getting Weekly that interview. I should have... I feel like I should have, like, been honest to her about Weekly in the first place to get... Nah, there's nothing up here, is there? I should have been honest with her about Weekly in the first place to get the interview. He's not going to say something different if he looks down there now, is he?
I don't want to imagine Weekly falling from up here.
Well, he did say something new, but it wasn't anything useful. Oh, how are we going to break it to Weekly that I didn't get the interview? Because I feel like that's going to come back to haunt us, considering we offered to do that for him. In return for him investigating someone else. Maybe we should try to talk to the gorilla, because we hacked him off. Jake, wasn't it? We hacked Jake off. And I feel like we should maybe try and talk to him again.
Okay, Jake.
I told you.
Desmond O'Leary.
Huh?
I know you work for him.
Now you're just making stuff up. Why would you say that?
We saw the Sherlock.
I saw the shamrock in your locker. I know what it means.
Okay, let's say you're right. So what? What are you gonna do, huh?
We're pals. I won't do a thing. But please, tell me the truth.
Okay, I guess I should have said something. Business isn't going that well lately. Natalia was my last well-paying job. And it's been a while. Then O'Leary shows up and offers me a bodyguard contract. What was I supposed to do?
Yeah, I understand.
Seriously, you don't seem like the type to accept shady offers.
I mean, we kind of did.
I've done things like that, and worse, but I'm not proud of them.
Hey, O'Leary might run an illegal gambling operation, but it's not like he's killing people or conning with us. And I'm just a bodyguard. I make sure no one gets hurt. What I do, including my contract and paycheck, is 100% legal. How bad can that be?
Yeah, you're right. The fact that his business is illegal doesn't turn you into a criminal. We're only accountable for our own actions. But that's not what bothers me.
I definitely don't want to say that he played a role in it.
I know you're covering up O'Leary's role in Joe Dunn's death.
Huh? O'Leary? No way. I mean, I don't think so.
Jake, please.
Well, I guess there's no point in hiding it now. I was here the day Dunn died.
Go on.
I had to take care of some business for O'Leary. He makes me wear the shamrock when I work for him. I left the damn thing in my locker.
Say no more. You came in the back door.
How did you... Yeah, that's it. Joe had mentioned he'd been painting that afternoon, but I forgot.
So it's his footprint.
I stopped in my tracks when I saw him screaming bloody murder at Bobby Yale at the top of the scaffold.
What exactly was he saying?
Something like, if you do that, I'll call off the fight and make sure you never set foot in this gym again. I didn't want them to see me, so I left.
Jake, why didn't you tell me?
I thought you'd be pissed off.
Well, you were wrong.
I'm sorry, John. I should have said something.
Don't worry. We all make mistakes. Time to go. I need to think about everything you just told me.
Thanks, John.
At least we've sort of made up for that friendship. So that we haven't ruined that friendship there. So Dunn wanted to call off the fight.
Christ. Did Yale kill Dunn just because he wanted to call off the fight?
I don't think so. That seems too obvious, but...
I always knew Bobby had issues. But I never thought he'd go that far.
I don't think you did it.
A part of me thinks Bobby Yale didn't do it.
But the chest expander, the box in his locker, the marks on my father's neck. It all leads to him.
Which is why it's too obvious that it would be him.
In any case, that doesn't change a thing.
It does, actually. Now we know he didn't kill himself.
My father's still dead, and you still haven't found Bobby Yale. Nothing has changed. Opening the safe and finding my father's will won't help us achieve anything. So please hurry. Time's wasting.
Bitch. Actual bitch.
Sonia's indifference never ceased to amaze me. But most importantly, why was she so opposed to Yale?
John Blacksad? I think I owe you an apology.
Oh, it doesn't sound very Irish to me.
Apology accepted. But what exactly are you apologizing for?
Listen, I don't think my fellow workers treated you with the respect you deserve. I'm so sorry they wrinkled your suit. The thing is, they didn't know we shared a common goal. Bobby Yale. I want to find him and get to the bottom of this as much as you do, Mr. Blacksad. So please, kindly accept my invitation. Why not share our findings? Come on.
I feel like we want to piss this guy off.
Of course. You don't mind me riding in this fancy car with a wrinkled suit, do you?
Aw, I think you look mighty dapper, Mr. Blacksad. Although, if those wrinkles were to rub off on me... I always play it nice and safe.
Yeah, don't smoke in the car. Don't smoke at all, actually, Blacksad. That's bad for you.
Thank you, Blacksad. You won't regret this. So let's cut to the chase. I need Bobby Yale to fight Stone. There's just too much money at stake. So, I'm offering you my help to find Yale. Let's work together.
What kind of help do you need?
A simple exchange of information. You're a good detective, and I, well, let's just say I have my own ways of making people talk.
I feel like we should work with him.
All right, then. Let's work together.
I thought you'd be hard to convince, that you'd appeal to the moral high ground or something. Please, hear me out. Let's say I bet a beer that we find Yale in 3 days, and you bet a beer that we don't. In 3 days, one of us has to buy the other a beer. Is that so bad? We're simply two grown men using our money and free will to conduct a small private exchange. And most importantly, we're not hurting anyone. So, yeah, I run a gambling business. What's so bad about that?
I can't really say.
Well, I can. Nothing. But I'll tell you what is wrong. The way our government is ruining America. We live in a so-called free country. A place where honest people can make a living, provided they don't hurt anybody. We're not communists. Well, at least I'm not.
I would have never thought otherwise. As for me,
I'm a sympathizer.
let's just say I sympathize with their cause.
Fair enough. You sure look the part. In any case, that's not my point. The government betrays our nation's values by passing communist laws that forbid an honest man like me to make a living without hurting a soul. And that, Mr. Blacksad, is just wrong. I'd even say it's unconstitutional. Do you get my point now?
Let's just say fair enough.
All right. I get your point.
Ha! I knew you would. When the government passes these laws, there's only one legitimate weapon the people can wield. The same weapon that turned America into a great nation. Civil disobedience. So, as the proud American that I am, it's my duty to disobey.
You might have a point. In certain cases, civil disobedience is both right and duty.
Favorite just seems like friends.
And when you hear just how I've transformed this business, you'll agree even more. I wasn't always a boss, you know. No, sir. I started at the bottom, when Lucky Blitzen ran the show. That good for nothing. His was a reign of terror, extortion, violence, you know, that sort of unpleasant thing. When I took over, I decided I'd make people want to do my bidding. Not out of fear, but out of gratitude. I decided to help people so they would help me.
That beating your thugs gave me was really helpful. Thank you so much.
Those poor bastards didn't even know you were a detective, that you were on our side.
Maybe at first. But when they tied me up and beat the socks off me, they knew very well who I was.
Seriously? That goes against my rules. Who was it?
No, we're not gonna hit our friend.
It was just Wilson.
That bastard. Don't you worry. I will have a serious talk with him. I cannot tolerate this behavior. Please accept my apologies, Mr. Blacksad. As I said before, I like to help people so I can count on their gratitude. That applies to fellow partners like police or, in this case, a detective. I won't deny this business has its fair amount of violence, extortion, and casualties, but I'd rather leave that to my enemies. And you are not my enemy. And, it looks like we're here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we shouldn't really be working with criminals, but we need all the help we can get. And actually, I'm starting to feel like people like O'Leary aren't really the bad guys at all. Like, honestly, he didn't seem bad there to me.
Yale's apartment?
I told you I'm on your side. Go ahead, search the place. I'll wait down here. When you're done, you can honor our arrangement and share your findings with me. Or not. It's your call, Mr. Blacksad. I'll make sure you're suitably compensated. Wilson, come here.
So now we're going to have a moral dilemma at the end of this. Do we actually help O'Leary, or do we go back on our word? Oh. Pizza.
The worst thing about O'Leary's boys dropping by isn't the beating, but the fact that I can't tell what's theirs and what's Yale's. Can't say this is the ideal drink for an athlete. Then again, it could be your classic bookie thug lunch.
God, I really want a pizza. Is that like... Mary's the daughter. I keep getting the names confused. I'm really bad at names, so I really apologize for that. Yes, please.
Ugh. 17th century French fables. Mayor must be one boring old lady.
Couldn't agree more, Blacksad. Right. We know about entering there. But we're gonna have a look over here first.
I'm not sure how Yale's love of pickles will help me crack the case, but it's good to know.
I love pickles too. Wait, is that her scarf?
A woman's fragrance. Almost angelical.
She was cheating. Well, that's just throwing some of my fears off the bandwagon. So she was cheating on Dunn, who was like... She was cheating on Dunn with Bobby Yale. Oh... Maybe she was the girl involved in the murder then. So maybe you do that. Mary went to Luna Park.
That means she's been here recently, but why? What does Sweet Mary have to do with Yale, the murder suspect?
Perhaps she's not so sweet after all. True athletes. Whoa, whoa. What? Did he paint? City and Capo.
So, you like your mob stories, don't you, Bobby? Seems like Bobby inherited something more than boxing skills from his father, besides the tendency to vanish into thin air, of course. Nice chain.
That's obviously going to become relevant later. Let's keep looking around the bedroom. Oh. Definitely like to read poetry. Oh, that's his dad's
Copy
poems.
1 of 3. A boxer reading poetry? Wait a minute. I remember a boxer poet that disappeared a couple of years ago. His name was Avenarius.
Yeah, it was Bobby Yale's daddy-o.
Why would you want such a big closet for so few clothes? Unless someone emptied it recently.
I was gonna say typical bachelor pad. I don't think so. Right, so we can leave out. We can exit out the window, guys. I love it. Caution, it's the bathroom.
Judging by the general state of the apartment, they were leading a quiet life.
Ah, no one watered his plants. There's got to be more here. Hang on, can we get into this corner up here? No, alright. So we'll just do one last sweep to make sure that we've got everything. That we've not missed anything. Oh, see? Worthwhile checking. Right, we've looked at that picture, we've looked at the scarf. But if we exit out the window, does that mean that we don't give the information to... What's his name? Or does something special happen if we go out the window? I'm now nervous to go out the window. I don't want to go out the window and, like, mess up with... Because we made a promise. But is he gonna hurt Mary if we tell him about Mary? I've got moral dilemmas right now. Okay, so if you go that way, you avoid O'Leary, and if you go out the window... I feel like... let's...
With people like O'Leary, you just never know. I didn't want to put Mary at risk. Why not take her a little something instead?
Oh, wait, what? So we betrayed O'Leary? But the... But the door said that we were betraying him. But the door... Oh, we're in trouble now.
I've never trusted angels.
Mr. Blacksad? What a...
Surprise?
Oh, I just feel like we're messing up one after the other. Yeah,
When they
right.
fall, they turn into demons.
Joey told me he was going to spend the afternoon painting the gym and that Bobby would be fixing something up on the roof. So, after I found the body and called the police, I went to Bobby's place, but he wasn't there.
How did you open the door to his apartment?
I think it was already open.
Yeah, right.
Everything is so confusing. I'm sorry, Mr. Blacksad.
Don't be. I'm here to figure it all out. What's your relationship with Bobby Yale?
He was like a son to Joey, and we were about to get married, so, you know.
Okay, I think it's time to set things straight. I knew you were cheating on Dunn with Yale. Or was it the other way around?
No! How can you even think of something like that?
How can you convince me otherwise? I found a picture at Yale's apartment. It's you and him on a roller coaster. Care to explain, Miss Purnell?
I'm not white, Mr. Blacksad.
What?
What?
7 of my great-grandparents were white. The 8th was black. According to law, I'm a black citizen, even if my skin says the contrary. Do you know what that means when you're born in North Arlington, Alabama?
Segregated health care, with far worse conditions for colored people.
We even have different water fountains, for God's sake. The separate but equal doctrine and all that.
That baloney.
And all the lies. That's why I moved here. No one knows what color my great-grandparents were.
I completely understand you, Mary.
Just think if you were also a woman. He's my nephew, Mr. Blacksad. Joe and I first started taking care of poor Bobby when my sister died. That was when he was almost 15. The three of us went on that trip to Luna Park.
So this is where Joe Dunn comes in.
Bobby was the only one who knew about me and Joey. We were afraid that someone would use my past to ruin his career.
It's not the first time I hear that story.
Let's
I'm
apologize.
sorry I accused you so lightly.
Don't worry, I understand.
Let's just investigate her quickly.
TV and radio all in one. Where will these mad times lead us?
Oh, if only you knew, Blacksad. Interesting.
Mary smells like... Actually, the whole room smells like a pie fresh out of the oven. So I can't identify any other fragrances.
We're missing something. There? I mean, we've done the radio. What's it pointing at?
Fresh out of the oven. The whole room smells like pie.
I want pie. So, this has got some weird racism in this world. Like, I didn't think that world of animals would have racism like that. Like, black and white, because it's fair, isn't it, at the end of the day? And apparently, cats get with dogs and stuff. This is confusing. I still feel bad about the O'Leary decision. I really do. That cherry pie smells good. Do you think... Should we say that at the minute? Oh,
About
last.
Sonia Dunn and the ring. I managed to hide the truth from her.
I appreciate it, but at the same time...
What?
No, nothing. Maybe she has a right to know.
Your secret is safe with me.
I believe you. Thanks.
Are you sure you don't know where your nephew is?
I've looked everywhere. He's nowhere to be found.
Don't worry. I'll find him.
Thank you.
Let's have some pie.
That cherry pie smells so good. I'm starting to get hungry.
Get us some
Thanks.
pie.
I pulled it out of the oven right before you arrived. Oh, where are my manners? I'm the worst hostess in the world. Let me go get a knife from the kitchen. And you must be thirsty. Let me see. OJ? Coffee?
Coffee.
I'll take some coffee, thanks. She's wearing the same clothes in both pictures, so she's probably telling the truth.
Oh, he's snipping. She caught her snipping.
Feels good to stretch out now and then.
She's suspicious as all hell. I really want some cherry pie. My favourite kind of pie. Dude, close your mouth when you chew. Rude. It's just awkward. Let's have more of a look around, shall we?
Now that there's almost no pie left, the scent has also disappeared. Interesting. Now Mary smells like a huge dog. Mary, when are you going to stop lying? I know your nephew is here. I can smell him.
What? No. I already told you I don't know where he is.
Look, I understand why you're protecting him, but it's in his best interest to end this hide and seek.
You can search the whole house if you want. Go ahead. He's not here.
I intend to search the whole house.
If he's not here right now, he must have left shortly before I got here. Where did he go?
Shortly before you got here? I wish.
Look, if he's making you do this, just tell me. I'll protect you.
Bobby would never do that.
We've already smelled here, though.
Wait a minute. She's not the one who smells like that.
So who does smell like that? Ah.
That's where Bobby Yale's scent is coming from. So, that's why you were sitting there.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. Could you step aside so I can check, please?
Please go.
Mary, for Christ's sake, put that knife down, would you?
Leivora.
Mary, I came here to help.
I mean it.
I don't want to hurt you.
Leave her alone!
Oh god.
Bobby!
Oh no, wrong button! What are we supposed to be seeing? Oh, we ran out of time! The tray. We failed. I accidentally pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button, guys. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna kill you!
I'm on your side, Bobby.
But I'm not on yours!
We are taking a fair beating. Did he just have a heart attack?
Bobby!
Did he literally just have a heart attack?
Call an ambulance. Do as I say. Go on, call an ambulance. Do it now. In the face of a heart attack, there's two things you can't forget. One, stay calm. Two, 1 chest compression per second. 1 Mississippi.
Oh, we missed
2
it.
Mississippi. 3 Mississippi. 4 Mississippi. 5 Mississippi.
Oh,
6 Mississippi.
I have the time.
7 Mississippi. 8 Mississippi.
Bobby!
Oh, we saved him.
Bobby!
We saved Bobby, guys.
Thank you, Bobby. Bobby. Thank you.
So maybe that's why they're going to stop the match, because he's got heart conditions.
I had lots of reasons to consider this a great day. I had investigated a suicide case. I had discovered that, in truth, we were dealing with a murder. I had found and captured the prime suspect. And I had saved a life.
But we know Bobby didn't do it.
And yet, everything in me screamed that something was going wrong. Terribly wrong.
I feel bad that we did ditch O'Leary, though. I feel like that was a big mistake, and I didn't mean to make the mistake. But yeah, I'm thinking that's why John Dunn and Bobby Yale were arguing, because of his heart
Promise
condition.
me you won't take the law into your own hands. I'd like to think we're not just vigilantes.
I want a gun!
What the hell?
Bang, bang, bang!
A fair amount of violence, extortion, and casualty.
I hate detectives.
Bang, bang, bang!
You're dead to me, cat.
That you, Smirnoff?
You seem agitated. Nightmare?
How long have I been sleeping?
I just got here. Anyway, why don't you go home? In his current condition, Yale's not going anywhere. Besides, we'll take it from here.
Thanks. I think I need to get some sleep.
Yep, that much is clear. As for what happened yesterday, you promised me you wouldn't intervene.
If I hadn't intervened, Bobby Yale could be dead.
If you had warned me, maybe we could have avoided a heart attack. Anyway, what's done is done.
Ready? We've got a quick time event for the lighter. Alright. Alright, game.
When exactly did you realize that he killed Dunn?
He didn't kill Dunn.
Out of sheer curiosity. I'm a cop after all.
To be honest, I'm not so sure Yale killed anyone.
How about the motive? Any ideas?
Did you just say that one?
I know Dunn wanted to call the fight off after something Yale did, but I still don't know what.
In any case, hopefully Yale will tell us more.
Would you let me ask him some questions when he wakes up?
I know you will, with or without my permission, so I'd rather not feel betrayed. In exchange, drop by the station when you can. Your investigation could really help my men. Who, by the way, must be waiting for me to interrogate Mary Purnell. Boy, she was hard to pry from Yale's side.
She's been through a lot in the past days. Be nice to her.
Of course. In spite of it all, we're not just vigilantes. And as for you, go get some rest. God knows you need it.
I will. Thanks for the advice.
Tell the nurses to look at that face of yours. You look like a film detective in his last scene.
I'm afraid this film isn't over yet.
For your sake. I hope you're wrong.
I still don't think Yale did it, though. And
You're in charge now, officer.
Okay.
I'll send you relief in 6 hours. Understood?
Doctor,
Who are... Oh, detective.
Oh my god, the doctor looks awesome.
Congratulations. You fared pretty well against that kid. Better than most would have.
Is he an iguana?
Now, if you'll excuse me...
let's just say I got lucky.
Are we suspicious about the doctor now?
We, as a society, simply don't trust reptiles. But that's not the real problem.
Why
The
don't you
real
trust
problem
reptiles?
is our extended belief that there's logic to that distrust, that it's natural and well-founded.
So we're racist towards animals with black fur, and we're now racist towards reptiles too. Is this just a racist world? You're just racist. Zoom in. Yep. There it is. Dr. Palmer.
How's Yale? Is he awake?
Oh, yeah. Go check on him before he falls asleep again. Although, try not to bother him with too many questions.
What's his current condition?
What's his current condition?
It's too soon to tell. He did have a heart attack after all.
Oh, come on, you can't be smoking in the room if a guy's just had a heart attack.
Go away. I don't want to see you. The doctor told me to sleep.
I rarely get to interrogate a suspect with his guard down in a place as quiet as this.
Oh, don't be a dick.
Getting the chance to study his body language with no distractions is a rare gift.
Don't be a dick, man, John. He's just had a heart attack.
His heart rate is increasing. It could mean that he's lying, but it could also just be pure, unadulterated rage. He's looking straight at me. If he couldn't hold my stare, I'd think he's lying, but that's not the case.
Nah, I think Bobby Yale's a good guy. Got some anger issues, but he's a good guy.
He's clenching his fist. A sign of contained anger. Clenched fist. Fast heart rate. Fixed stare. He feels some genuine rage towards me. I'm sorry you don't want to see me, but I saved your life, son.
Maybe my aunt feels gratitude. I certainly don't. Luckily, I just got my medication. I'll be snoozing soon.
All right, I'll just cut to the chase. Who killed Joe Dunn?
What? Are you trying to confuse me? Joe hanged himself.
Dunn was too short to hang himself with that rope.
So, it's true? He was murdered.
I knew he didn't do it.
I know the murder weapon was yours.
What? The rope? I don't get it. What weapon do you mean?
Don't play with me, boy. The chest expander.
An expander? I've never had one of those.
All right. Let's just say that I believe you.
I do believe him.
The murderer killed Dunn with a chest expander and planted evidence to make us believe it was suicide. But he also left enough clues behind to make sure we found the true murder weapon. Then he put the chest expander box in your locker to frame you. Do you know anyone that twisted and who also happens to have a motive?
I don't know.
What about Sonia Dunn?
Sonia? I doubt it. She's odd, but she's his daughter.
I've seen worse, believe me.
Frank Cassidy?
What about Frank Cassidy? Do you think he has a motive?
Maybe. A few weeks ago, Joe took me to a boxing managers association meeting.
Headed by Cassidy.
Yeah. He was obsessed with making it illegal for boxers to fight without a manager, or without an associated manager. Everyone seemed to go along with it until Joe spoke up. He said that would lower us to mob status, that Cassidy had founded the association just to make money by monopolizing the sport. That made others think twice. And Cassidy ended up empty-handed.
Poor Cassidy.
So Cassidy does have a clear motive.
Maybe it was... What am I saying? Jake could never pull off something like that. Nothing. Never mind.
Alright, so we definitely ruled out Jake.
Desmond O'Leary certainly seems twisted enough. Did he have anything against Dunn?
I'm not sure if they knew each other. At least not in person. About a month ago, Joe kicked one of O'Leary's men out of the gym. He was trying to give a business card to...
Jake Ostiambi.
Yeah, exactly. Did Jake tell you about that?
Something like that.
Blacksad. I think I owe you an, You know, my father disappeared when I was 6, right after winning a fight. We never heard from him again. Do you know what that does to a kid? Who knows where I'd be if Joe Dunn hadn't been in my life. Even when I lost my way and put a gun to his head years later, he still took me under his wing and managed to steer me in the right direction. And now that he's gone, you're risking your life to find his murderer.
I love the little art style that have going on there, like...
Thanks.
The flashbacks. Let's be polite back.
Thank you for...
Aww. Is a cutie the puppy asleep? Alright, well... Yeah. So, I feel like we'll leave it there. Because obviously I'm trying to keep the episodes to like a max of 40 minutes at the moment. But we've definitely cleared the fact that Yale was definitely not the murderer. We've pissed off O'Leary, which I never meant to do. We've kind of hacked Smirnoff off a little bit as well, but he seems like pretty cool about it. We've kind of ruled out the door then, so now it's looking more like the walrus might be the guy to blame. But again, I just don't know. I feel like it can't be anything too obvious, and this game just keeps twisting and turning. But at least we've proven our theory that Yale didn't do it, so that's one thing. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please feel free to subscribe. It will be available every Wednesday. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Toodles!